The aim is to converge the music sector's many voices, to speak up together and to continue dialogue among ourselves and also the dialogue with political institutions, with political decision makers. That's the aim. The process was a very long process dating back several years already, with first consultations with the EMC membership, how this process should be organized and put into practice. Then we had installed 7 working groups working in specific fields. They handed in their report, they were analyzed, and then we came up with the first text draft. That was in June 2017. And after this text draft, we had several rounds of consultations with our own membership and with the entire music sector organizations that are not members of the European Music Council, to finalize the text version that we have today and to revise the first draft. And I've just been said this morning again that it's improved a lot since the first draft, and really many aspects are in there and everyone feels represented.
I think what was very important to us was to reflect the journey of music from access, participation and education right through every level to professional practice, however you define that, whether it's from a recording studio, whether it's from a concert hall, whether it's streaming, whether it's recorded product. Wherever music is used, we had 3 areas that were constant, and we see music as an art form, of course, that's easy, but also music can be seen as a tool and as a product, and we had some discussion on what that actually meant. But once everyone was comfortable with the way we were talking, and the final agenda was professionally edited, we feel it was very important that it wasn't even written by us in the final analysis. It was written by a professional writer, so that it read well and everything was covered. And that was really just as important for us, that it was clear and clean.
It can definitely be a tool to approach national governments. That's the aim. That's what it is meant for. You can use it as a whole as it is, or you can use parts of it according to your constituency, to your own field of action. And the next steps will have to be to define what are the next actions to be taken. And this is obviously something that the European Music Council cannot do on its own. That's where we all have to play together, and where we have to see who can take on which activity and who can contribute in what way. But definitely it's also a tool for advocacy work at national level or even local level in one's own constituency.
But what we hope, as Ruth has just said, that this work, this paper, however you refer to it, online or in print form, will be used by our colleagues to influence policy making. That would make me certainly very happy. I've been around a long time, as you know, and a lot of that time has been spent carefully and diplomatically lobbying our political masters to ensure they understand the difficulties of our sector, and where possible they respond if they are able. And it's not just about money and resources, it's about that understanding of how important music is, not just as an art form, but as an economic driver for countries, for national and for global economies. It's such an important industry, and even some of our members would prefer to use the word sector rather than industry, but that's okay, that's absolutely fine. But we can never undervalue the role that music plays in our lives and in our society. And that sounds very grand and idealistic, but if our agenda can, even in a small way, help that ideal, then we will be very happy. The role is as a facilitator, and from the very start of our consultation with not just our members but with the wider industry and the sector it represents, we were very clear this was our and your agenda. This wasn't an EMC agenda. It wouldn't work unless it was a shared project, a shared program, a shared agenda. We can't avoid mentioning that word. But we hope that what we have achieved so far, obviously it will be subject to change as the sector is subject to change, not just technological but political influences, different geographical influences. Things change all the time, and we have to be aware and represent those changes, but we're not going to rewrite it every month.
It's just out, you are right, so we are very happy to have the print version. This is how it looks like, looks like, the European Agenda for Music. To be very honest, we didn't discuss any process yet, but the main focus in the future will be on the online version, where changes are very easy and where we can make adaptations as necessary. And we have our upcoming annual event, the European Forum on Music, in Oslo from 7 to 10 June. Where we will discuss it with the members and see how we go on. But the most important next step is not to change what we have, but to see what we can implement and how we can make this an actual work program and action plan now.
Ruth Jakobi, Smith, thanks so much.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.